Okay, I want to talk a little bit more about the advisory team and things I wasn't able to cover in the last video. And the first thing I want to talk about is with the academic advisor, what you're going to get out of that session is exactly what you need as far as a piece of paper that has all your credits laid out in possible scenarios. From the study abroad advisor, you're going to take that piece of paper and say, these are how all the credits fit, this is what I need, this is the semester that we feel that I can get credits in, do you know any programs? And the study abroad advisor is hopefully going to give you directions into what programs are available and what you can do, and also give you a budget. And from there, you're going to take the budget and talk a little bit about the program with your financial advisor and say, this is what I'm looking to do. What's available as far as financial aid, scholarships, anything that you might know of. By the way, anybody down in here might know of scholarships that might be available. So always ask that question, are there any resources or things that I can use? And that's what advisors are really there for. Advisors usually know the territory in whatever they're doing. They have specific information in each of the categories that they work in, but they also know general information of things that they've found out over their time there. So that's really important. A few special cases, and I alluded to this in the first video, sometimes you don't really need to talk to your financial advisor. I've had students who've come into my office and said, don't worry about it, the money's taken care of, my parents are covering it, I'm not worried a bit. If that's the case, then I still would recommend going to see them and talking to them about options because they may know things. But if you can cover it, then okay, great. And they're more concerned with making sure the credits work and that the study abroad option is there. I think the majority of students have to have this, so it's a very important relationship. And I'll talk about each one of these individually in webs further on down. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about in regards to this, some students also don't really care about the academic credits, which to me, I say if you're going to go on an academic program, you probably should think about how the credits are going to fit in and not just waste credits, because you've got to pay for credits. They charge you for credits at your university. But if you're not concerned with how the academics are going to go, I would still run it by your advisor. But then your primary concern is where can you go and how much is it going to cost. And so those are kind of the special cases. They're not, I don't see them a lot, or I didn't see them a lot, but excuse me, that's what you can be thinking about, and that's why I put it in this triangle, because if you don't need really the academic credits, but you still want to go on an academic program and have all the safety that everything's set up, then this right here becomes the base of your pyramid for the most part. So that's just a side thing. The other reason why I put this pyramid together, and this is, I think, really the biggest reason, but I always ask students when this is all said and done and we're looking at it, who is your best advisor? Who's your most important advisor? Who's the advisor that in the end has to make all the decisions? And students would kind of look at me a little scared sometimes because they wanted to say it was me, but because they didn't know what I was exactly looking for. But the answer of who your most important advisor is technically a trick question. It's you, and that was awful. I just crossed it out, but oh well. It's definitely you. You are the advisor who's going to be the one who's going to make all these decisions. Technically, these people are working with you on what's the best course of action, but at the end of the day, you've got to make the decision. Your academic advisor can't sit there and say, this is the study abroad program for you, and the study abroad advisor can't do it either. And the financial advisor can't say, this is how you're going to spend your money. In the end, this is all being driven by you. You're the one asking the questions. You're the one who's working with these people, excuse me, to get to the end of planning your trip and where you're going to go. So you need to take responsibility for every decision that is made in here and make sure that you're answering the questions that you have and that you're educating yourself to make sure that you understand how the process works as you move from ignorance in how everything happens to educating yourself. And once you get used to doing this, you'll use this for the rest of your life, where you'll make a decision to do something and then start asking people and educating yourself on how to do it. So as long as you know you're your most important advisor, you can go from there.